Hello everyone, I'm Jock Smuts from PJH Technologies. I'm here to showcase Slammer Clear Live, our latest product for Milestone XProtect VMS. Slammer Clear monitors the health of your cameras, it monitors the health of your system, and it even monitors the health of your video streams coming from any camera compatible with Milestone XProtect. First, I am going to show off the most impressive part of our system, the real-time obstruction detection. This is the real-time tab within Slammer, and it shows if there are any real-time issues. I am going to go to this tab here of a live view. Then I'm going to go outside and block the camera, and we'll see what happens next. I am only going to block the camera for about 10 seconds. As you can see, an alarm was triggered almost immediately within Milestone XProtect's Alarm Manager. The Alarm Manager shows the moment that the alarm was triggered here in the Slammer tab, and then in the Real-Time tab within that, you can see a list of all currently obstructed cameras. In the list, you can see exactly when each camera was obstructed, and if you click on the camera, you can see the footage of when exactly this obstruction took place. That way you can identify if anyone or anything caused the obstruction. Now, the obstruction has been cleared on the real camera, so I'm going to tag it here as being clear, and I'm going to go to the Alarm Manager and close the alarm. Next, I am going to tilt the camera but not obstruct it. This is necessary because what we often find in the field is people tilt cameras to look away from what they need to look at and to look at a corner where nothing really can be seen. But our system can detect that, as you will see. As you can see, the tilt was picked up within seconds and an alarm was triggered. In the Slammer tab, you can see that the tilt is listed here as well, and it will be listed next to other obstructions. In this case, we can see the camera is tilted incorrectly. We now need to fix the camera. Once the camera has been fixed, we say reset tilt to show this is the correct angle and it should stay like that. Next, we head to the Stream Clarity tab. Here, you get daily checks on all of your cameras to determine whether or not they are clear and operating properly. Now, this is not a real-time check like the other one. These are for more subtle issues. This is when your camera is not fully obstructed, but it's a little unclear. If you look at the image, it might be showing a little bit of dirt, or there could be a smudge on the lens, or perhaps you have a salt buildup or a dust buildup if you are in, for example, a mining site. You can look at the images that the camera gives you and scroll through them to determine yourself if you agree with the system that this camera is dirty and needs to be cleaned or cleared up in some way. Now, it could be that it is a false positive. However, we have written a proprietary adaptive computer vision algorithm that learns from your inputs. So you can mark this batch as being clear and say, no, this is actually clean enough. We can see clearly if we look through the images, there's nothing wrong here. So you mark it as clear and the system learns from that and will not alert you again at this level of clarity. Only if the camera gets worse than this will it alert you again. This way, you prevent false positives, and usually we find that you only need to do this about once or twice a camera. From that point on, it works reliably. On this tab, you can also see statistics about your camera clarity. For example, when was the last health check done. Now, this is done on a daily basis. You can also see which cameras are performing the worst, which ones are performing the best. So that way you can see this camera is a specific problem. Next, we move to the camera hardware tab. This tab monitors the camera's hardware and just sees if the camera is connected and working properly. If your camera is disconnected from the network or powered off for some reason, it will show up here. If you click on a camera that's been disconnected, it will also show you footage of the time of disconnection. Now, if someone were to walk up to your camera and disconnect it by cutting a cable, this is where you will see it. You can also see statistics on this page. You can see what cameras are performing the worst and the best, how many cameras you currently have online or offline. You can see what is the average downtime of your system to see that you are performing up to the service level agreement. I have reconnected the camera now. And as you can see, the camera is back online. It automatically removed itself from this list. Next, we move to the dashboard. This dashboard gives you an immediate overview of your system to show you how many issues there are, as well as the recent health of your system. You can see 3 graphs here. The first one on the left is the overall health. The next one is camera health. This is whether or not the cameras are connected or disconnected. From this graph, I can tell that there was some sort of power outage that disconnected a lot of cameras. I happen to know that this is because several cameras lost power twice. This is something you can see immediately on the graph. Next, we have stream health. This graph shows whether or not the stream quality was good. And as you can see, recently it's detecting more issues because there was a storm. And the storm caused a lot of issues with the cameras. Finally, at the top, we have the real-time issues. And this shows over the last 12 hours or so what real-time issues we've been seeing. Our next feature is the Generate Reports button. Now you can generate reports on custom timespans, either in PDF format or Excel sheet format. You can generate reports for the camera uptime, and this gives details on whether or not the cameras were working correctly. And you can also generate a camera configuration report. This report shows whether or not your cameras are configured correctly. It requires no setup. It works automatically out of the box, and it can tell you that, wait a minute, one of these cameras is not configured correctly. Next, I want to show you how easy it is to set up Slammer. Once you've installed Slammer with our easy installer, all you need to do is go into Milestone XProtect Management Server, activate your license or free trial. Then you may need to set up database settings. And finally, you determine which of your cameras are high priority. All cameras are detected as offline or online and receive daily health checks. However, high priority cameras receive real-time checks and will alert you within seconds if there is an obstruction or a tilt. You might, like me, be able to just make all of your cameras high priority. However, if you have thousands of cameras, this can be a little resource intensive. So you may want to choose only a few hundred cameras that are the highest priority. Now, when I say resource intensive, you might wonder, which resources are you talking about? And I am talking about your Milestone XProtect server. Our software does not need internet, it does not connect to a cloud, and it does not need any sort of third-party hardware installation. You simply install the software on your existing Milestone XProtect server and it works. But if you're worried that this system might eat up all of your resources, have a look at this. This is, I think, the most impressive part of this system. We are running here a fairly normal and small computer. This computer, as you can see, is strong enough to run Milestone XProtect. It can run 12 cameras without any real issues, but it is not an impressive powerhouse server either. Now, if we open the task manager and look at the resource use, you will see that Slammer Clear is taking up less than 10% of CPU and very little RAM. Sometimes it goes down to below 1%. This system is checking 12 cameras simultaneously every second for any issues. What this means is there is a very good chance that if your server is not running at capacity, if you have a little bit of spare capacity on your existing Milestone server, you can just install this software and it will work. We have a free trial of this system. You can make your Milestone XProtect system so much more powerful with just this one easy installation. You should give it a shot. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful day.